Yes, hi everyone. I hope I'm audible, right? Just give me a second. Let me open the YouTube chat. Just okay. Yes, yes. So yes, I think I'm live. Hi everyone. How are you? Yes. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Ayush. In the meanwhile, let me share my screen. Right. Okay. Just let me know if my screen is visible, and just give me a confirmation if I'm audible and visible, and my screen is also shared. Right. Just give me confirmation of all these things. Hello, Saksham. Hello, Vivek. Good evening. Good evening. How are you? How are you guys? So, did you revise to yesterday's lecture, or did you go through yesterday's essential? Did you watch the recording? Did you see the topics that were covered yesterday? Yes. Anyone? You did you watch the recordings? Yes, sir. Okay. 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 Great. That's really great. So, I hope is my screen visible, right? Can anyone give me a confirmation? Okay. Naveen says he has revised. What about others? बाकी लोग ने रिवाइज किया? What about others? Yes, I revised. ठीक है. So, any doubts? Any doubts from yesterday? Yes, guys. Any doubts from yesterday that you want to clarify, or you want to ask something? You can also ask. Attendance also marked, sir. Yeah, that's great. Revised. Yes. Audible. Okay. No doubt. No doubt. Okay. If you don't have any doubt, that means you're doing really great, right? I mean, what could be better than this, right? You don't have any doubts from the first day. ठीक है. Revised. Okay. Yeah. Please make sure that you're revising each and every day, right? Because if you're not revising, whatever we do, it's good for nothing, right? You human mind has a tendency to forget each and everything that they do, right? So make sure you're revising, right? Make sure you are doing things as they should, right? Make sure you are doing things as they should be done. Okay. Such spelling mistake in Let's Upgrade website about the program. Is it? Let me see. I don't think that there should be any spelling mistake. Uh, JavaScript as programming essentials bootcamp. Yes, where is the spelling mistake that we find? Right? So, sir, what is Latin JS? So, Vivek, most probably today we'll be covering Latin const. There's a very basic difference, right? It's regarding the block scope and what do you say? It's regarding block scope and global scope, right? So we'll cover that. Don't worry, right? Don't worry about that. Okay. Plus, I have some things to share. So we will be having a Kahoot session today, right? So yesterday I told you about two courses, right? Java and DSA. That were of somewhere around 6,000 rupees or 5,900. So if you're coming first in the quiz, you will be eligible for it absolutely for free of cost. So make sure that you join the quiz session, you join the Kahoot, right? I'll also be exploring and giving you the brief introduction about the courses as well. So please be patient and please make sure that you are joining the quiz, right? Yes. Okay. So with that being said, if you have any doubts, you can let me know. Meanwhile, I'll open the session, right? So that is what we did yesterday. We covered variables. We covered the basics of JavaScript. How do we run it? Why JavaScript? What is a programming language? What is JS? These things. And we also covered variables, right? We also covered variables. So yes. Can anyone let me know what do you mean by variables? What are variables in JavaScript? Anyone? If you have revised, let's see who has revised and who has not. What do you mean by variables? What do you mean by variables? Anyone? Yes? No one? Container. Container of what? Container to store data. Yes. Great. Okay, to store values. Data containers, they are containers. Okay. So we have three types of variables: valid and const. So for now we'll be just focusing on var. Okay, we'll come to let and const later part on the later part of the bootcamp. But for now we are only aware of a variable that is called let. All right. So okay. Now today we'll yes. So variables are so used to store value. In fact, variables are the only ones variables, that is the sole purpose of variables are to store values only, right? Then they're not used for anything else apart from that. ठीक है. चलो. Okay. With that being said, we'll start with the loops today. Okay. I hope. Just give me a second. Chalo, okay. Let's start with functions, or let's start with loops. Then we'll cover functions. Okay. So today we'll be starting off with loops. Let me know if my text is visible properly. Do I need to increase the font size? Okay. Okay. Right. So today we'll be covering about loops. Yes, so today there is an assignment as well. Okay, I'll go through the assignment. Don't worry, right? Just be patient. So let's cover some technical part. After that, in between, sometime in between, I'll show you how to mark the attendance, how to see the assignment and things like that. Okay, first and also how do you have to attend the quiz, right? What is necessary for the quiz? What are the reward points? We'll be covering that. We'll be covering all these things, right? But first, we'll be covering the topics that are there. Chalo, ठीक है. Anyone, what are loops? If I were to ask you, if let's suppose you are in an interview and you are asked this question of what do you mean by loops, then what is the first answer that comes to your mind? Or what is the website you're using to write the content? So it's called Draw. Okay, I find it very useful to write text. Okay, so yeah, and it's obviously free of cost. So that's why. Okay, it's Draw. Chalo, okay. Yes, if I were to ask you what do you mean by loops, what would you say? Iterative statement. Loop means continuous that repeat a portion of code a set of number of times. Yes, great. Ultimate football. Ultimate football. I will suggest you to please join the session by your name because yeah, so if you have a name, that means I can call you by your name as well, right? So we can get to know that who are you eventually. If you have a weird names, and no one will get to know no one will get to know your identity, right? So please, if it's recommended, it's up to you, right? It's recommended, and plus also if you get any prizes in the quiz, that you and if you are a winner, right? So in that case, your username should be visible to us. Okay, his name is RN Kaushik. Okay. So everyone is saying that executing code again and again. So I got the best answer from RN Kaushik, right? He says iterating no, that repeats a portion of a code a set of number of times. So I'll also use that statement, right? Uh, loops are nothing. Loops are used to loops are used to uh, it's continuous iterations. Yes, TV. It's continuous iteration. Okay. Yes. Okay. Loops are used to just give me a second. Yes. Repeat a part of code until, this is very important here, until the condition is satisfied, right? So what do we mean by condition? What is a condition? We'll just look at that part also. Okay. Until the condition is satisfied. Satisfied. Okay. So what do we mean by condition, or what is the condition that we are talking here is, we'll cover that, don't worry. So basically there are many types of loop. You have a for loop, you have a while loop, you have a for while, no, you have a what do you say, a foreign loop, you have a for each loop, you have multiple loops in JavaScript, right? You also have a thing called as a map, you also have a thing called as a filter, that is also used for looping, right? Ultimately at the end of the day, filter, mapping, reduce, they all are used for looping in the statement. But for now in this bootcamp, we'll only be covering the basics, that is while, and the second one is for. Okay, I hope most of you must have used loops at least one or twice in their life. If you are not coming from the coding background, still you must have at least heard of these terms, while loop and for loop, right? Yes, for loop, while loop, do while, for each, for it, for off. They are even more than that also. Yeah, but for now, we'll be only covering while loop and for loop. So let me, without wasting any time, let me just open the compiler. Yeah. the VS Code, that is. So first we have a while loop. So why is while loop used for? So I told you, right, while loop, it's just a loop that will repeat this part of a code until the condition is satisfied. No, if else is not a loop. If else is a condition, right? It's not a loop. Okay. So what do mean by, what do we mean by while loop? So oh, sorry, what do we mean by condition, right? So, and so let's suppose I'm looping, right? My JS engine, right, or my JS, what do you say? Yes, my JS engine will loop at a particular at a time, right? It will execute some statements. Now I need to specify that what is the ending statement that I should give it. If there is no ending statement, if there is no condition that when should I stop, then it will give unlimited printouts. It will give unlimited function calls. It will give unlimited console.log. It will run unlimited times. There is no one stopping it, right? Ultimately, at the end of the day, your browser will crash and it will not work. Okay. A while loop, the loop will at least execute first. No, that is do while. That is not while. That is do while. Okay. So the first thing that we mentioned here is the initialization. So let's suppose I'm initializing it with a variable. Let's suppose I'm initializing it with, sorry, not int. We have, sorry, I'm coming. It really gets confusing, right? When you come from when you learn multiple languages, C, C++, JavaScript. So you do not have an int for that. What do you have? What do we use for a variable? We only use a var, and depending on the initial declaration of the items in var, it will automatically take that shape. If I do it var I equals to 10, then this will behave as an integer. If I do var I equals to my name, then this will behave as a string or a character, right? So we only have this, yes, because ultimately if we are doing multiple languages, we get confused, right? So initially I also typed int. You must have seen that. So do not get confused. I can understand it takes some time to digest each and everything, but with practice you'll get it. So let's suppose I'm declaring a variable, and that is var I equals to 10. Okay. Now in order to execute a while loop, you have to mention a keyword. And what is that keyword? That keyword is while. So I'll mention while. Okay. Now here I have to mention the conditions, right? Here we have to mention the conditions. What condition should be the ending part? Where should my loop end, right? What should be the initial part? What should be the ending part of my loop? That I have to mention it. So let's suppose initially I is, let's suppose, 0. Okay. And I want I to end when my I becomes, let's suppose, 10. So I, while I is less than equal to 10, and whenever this case is true, okay, this loop will run. Whenever this case is true, this loop will run. So let's suppose I want to print numbers from 0 to 10. A very common and a very basic example I'm saying, right? So let's suppose I want to print numbers from 1 to 10, and I do console.log. I do console.log I. Okay. And here I want to just print it. Okay. Can anyone let me know, is this for those who are coming from coding background, right? Those who know about while loops, is this correct, right? Will this give me the desired output, what I want to do, or not? Is there any mistake in that? I just want to print numbers from 0 to 10. That's it. So is this correct? Anyone can anyone let me know about that? Yes, is it correct? Anyone? Is it correct or is it wrong? Type yes or no. Okay, I got an answer from Monu. What about others? RN Kaushik. Okay, I think he has changed his name. Yes, thank you, RN Kaushik, for that. Okay, no, I plus plus increment. Increment is not there. Incrementation is required. We need to increment. Yes, yes. So I told you, right? This will result in an infinite loop. Why? Because let's suppose I come to the statement, right? It will just check. It will just check if my 0 is less than or equal to 10. Is 0 less than 10? Obviously it is, right? Then it will just console.log I. That means it will just console.log 0. Now if I come over to it again, still my I is 0, right? My I is 0 still. So it will again check if I is less than equal to 10, right? It is. Again it will 10, again it will print 0. Then again it will come. It will see that is I is less than equal to 10. Is it? Is 0 less than equal to 10? Yes. Okay. Then it will also print 0. My point being is, if I try to print, I hope everyone knows the command how do we print, right? We type in the keyword called as node, and then we type the name of the file. So let's suppose node.index. Now see the blunder. See the blunder that I will do. So if I do this, see, it is infinitely printing zeros. It is infinitely printing zeros. See here, it is infinitely printing zeros. It is not even stopping. See, it is not even stopping. Ultimately, I will have to, what do you say, close my terminal and then it will go. Okay. Now, in order to correct that, I would have to increment it by each and every time, or by one. It can be by one, by two, by any number of time, but I will have to make sure that I am incrementing my ith variable. If I'm not, it will just be stuck in this while loop and it will print forever. So now if I do this, now if I try to print, so now it will give me numbers from 0 to 10. Okay. Now it will give me numbers from 0 to 10. So as you see here, I got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. As simple as that. Right. So what did we infer from this? That if we are using a while loop, first of all, we have to make sure that we have a condition, right? So I'll just quickly take a screenshot and I'll just explain you how does it work internally. So let me just take a part of it. Let me just quickly come here. Okay. So let's suppose we have this part. Remember, it will always work with a true and false thing. Okay. So let's suppose I'm coming here. It will just check if my I is less than equal to 10, right? Initially 0 is obviously less than or equal to 10. 0 is obviously less than or equal to 10. So in this case, I will get a true. Okay. If I get a true value, then my code will then these two lines will be executed, right? If and only if I get true here, then only my code will get executed, otherwise it won't. Right? Clear? So next time when I come here, I will get increase to 1, and I'll just check if 1 is less than equal to 10. It is, right? So in that case also, it will just print whatever it has to print. It will give true, and then it will go on. Suppose you are incrementing and this has now become 11. Okay. So in this case, right, is 11 less than or equal to 10? Anyone? Is 11 less than or equal to 10? No, right? That's that's basic math. It's not. So Rakesh Kumar says that it is. Okay, Rakesh. So yeah, it is not, right? 11 is not less than equal to 10. So in that case, you will get a false here. You will get a false here. Okay. And as soon as you get a false, this will exit, right? This will exit and this will exit this whole loop, and this will come and to this line. So in this case, if I would tell you, this will directly exit this loop and this will end the program, because I haven't mentioned any function, I haven't mentioned anything. So this will just exit the code and just come down and just print the results. As simple as that. Right? Clear about for loop. So just like for loop, right? Just like for loop. Acha, bitter truth, for while loop is not that much used. I mean, it does the same thing as for loop, right? But it is more convenient to write a for loop. Most of the programmers, even 95% of the programmers, they prefer writing for loops until and unless a while loop is required. Okay. So what then? Why do we use for loop, right? Why is for loop most widely used? Okay. Why is for loop most widely used? The reason is very simple. Because it is very convenient to write a for loop. How? Chalo. Okay. I'll just quickly come here and I'll just quickly comment out this part. Okay. So whenever we were doing a while loop, right, we were first initializing a variable, then calling out a condition, then incrementing it, right? So it was taking 3 separate lines to write that part. But in case of for loop, you can write it all in a single line. You do not have to explicitly take a line for declaring a new variable, for writing the condition, this condition that is there, and for incrementing. Yes. So how do we write a for loop? It's very simple. You have, just like you did it in while, right? You mentioned a keyword called as while. You mentioned a keyword called while. Here also you have to mention a keyword called as for. So for. Now I have to put two round brackets. Now there are three things that we have to do: initialization, condition, and incrementation or decrementation or division or multiplication as per your need. So the first part here is declaration. I have to declare a variable. So let's suppose I declare a variable. Let's suppose for I equals to 0. Right. Now, then you have to put a semicolon. Right. After that, you have to mention the condition. Till where should your while loop go? Let's suppose I'm doing the same example. Let's suppose you want to print numbers from 0 to 10. In this case, my I should be less than or equal to 10. The third thing is the what do you say, an incrementation. Third is in the incrementation. Okay. It can be an increment, it can be decrement. It's up to you. So let's suppose I'm just incrementing it. Now two curly brackets and then write the same condition. So let's suppose console.log and I write I. So here I was taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines to do it. Instead of 5 lines, I'm just finished in 1 line. And suppose I have a very big program. I'm working for a company that has a very huge number of files, okay, of code, and there we are using for while loop. Now just imagine how many redundant lines would you take and how hectic will it become to to declare a variable separately, to increment it, to add any consolation. So it becomes really hectic. So that is the only reason why most of us prefer using a for loop. Now if I were to see, if I were to come here and if I were to run it, so it will again give me numbers from 0 to 10. And if I were to show you the opposite way around, let's suppose I want to print numbers from 10 to 0. So what would be the condition? My number should be greater than or equal to 0. Now if I do this, okay, I did not do I minus minus, that's my bad. So again, it is going into an endless unlimited loops, right? What is the reason for that? The reason is that I'm starting with my variable called as 10. I'm printing it, and I'm increasing it. This condition is never satisfied, right? This condition is never satisfied. So this is the only reason that I'm getting unlimited loops. Okay, unlimited code is being called again and again. So I'll just have to exit. I'll just press Control C if I can. Yes, I can. Okay. Now instead of I plus plus, I would have to do I minus minus. Now in this case, if I do this, I'll get my answer as numbers printed from 10 to 0. Okay, as simple as that. So if I were to come here, if I were to take a screenshot of it, let's come to here and let's paste it, right? So it's very simple, right? This is the initialization part you have. This is the initialization. This is the condition. This is the condition. And this right here is increment slash decrement. Or you can even divide, you can multiply, it's up to you, right? It's up to you. Whatever you want to, you can do. Or even multiply. Okay, this is up to you. Yes. Okay, so this is all about your for loops and while loop. Any doubts still here? Any doubts still here? So the difference lies in the structure, right? See, this is a different structure altogether, and this is a different structure. You are reducing the number of lines of code. It is very convenient. Plus, it does the same work as this, right? But you can see the size, right? It obviously makes a difference. Any doubts still here? Any doubts still here? Anyone? Yes or no? RN Kaushik says no, sir. Rakesh says readability. Yes, readability is also a factor. Yes. Tani Chandani says no doubt. What about others? Ayush Raj, Rakesh Kumar. What about others? Anyone else? Monu Kumar says no. When we don't know how many types loop will iterate, then we use for loop. Otherwise, we use. Acha. It depends, right? It depends. Not exactly, but there are cases where you have to use a while loop, right? So, yeah, you said it correctly, right? Where we do not know how many iterations should be. So in that case, yes. ठीक है, चलो, great. Any other doubts apart from this? Any other doubts, guys? चलो ठीक है. If else block will be used inside. Yes, you can. Yes, you can use. You can use any. You can even call a function inside a loop, right? That's up to you. Whatever you want to do between these two curly brackets, it is up to you, right? You can do whatever you want. As simple as that. You can call a function. You can do anything, right? You can do anything. Okay. चलो. There's someone having post and pre-increment. Acha. So it's very simple. It's just a so. Okay. A post increment. Let's suppose I come here to post increment, right? So what is post increment? So see, I did I plus plus here, right? I did I plus plus and I minus minus. Okay. So whenever I do I minus minus, it is called as a post increment. Okay. I'll also take an example. So let's suppose we come here and I declare a variable. Let's suppose I declare a variable called as var I equals to 0. Okay. And I do console.log. I plus plus. Can anyone let me know what would be the answer for that? Anyone? If what according to you should be the answer for that? Anyone can let me know. Let's see how many of you are getting this correct or not. Anyone has any thoughts about that? What would be the answer and why? Monu Kumar says 0. RN Kaushik says 0. Okay. What others? Kamil says 1. Okay. JP says nothing. Ready. Dilip Kumar says 0. Rakesh 0. Satya Priyam 0. Kamil 1. Subhash 0. Acha. देखो. I'll show you here. I'll just print it again. I'll just print it again and see. The answer we get here is 0. Now, why 0? Why do we get 0? So, the funda is very simple. As soon as I declare a variable, right, and I'm doing console.log I plus plus, that means it is a post increment. What do you mean by post increment? That it will be incremented after your variable or the condition has been called. So in this case, it is not that it is not incrementing. It is incrementing, but it is incrementing after this line has been called. So at the time of this line, it is 0 only, right? If I were to print it after this in time else, then it will give 1 because it is incrementing. It is a post increment. Post means like right? What is if post is an English word, right? Post means afterwards and pre means before. So it is incrementing, but it is incrementing after this line has been executed. That is why the answer is 0. Acha. Now if I come here, if I instead of this, if I do plus plus I, now what would be the answer? Anyone? The quiz time will be Monkuma, the quiz time will be 7:20, right? So what would be the answer in this case? Anyone? 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, now everyone is saying 1 because it will increment first, then exactly. Now 1, I got 1 from Rakesh. Okay. That means you are really going great, right? If you understand this concept, that means you're doing great. Please have a cheer for yourself, right? See, if I come here and if I print it, now it will give me 1. The reason is very simple here. The reason is very simple. Why? Because I told you, right? It's a post increment. Now this one here is a pre increment. This one is a pre increment. So pre means before, right? I hope everyone knows what it is. What's an English meaning of pre? So it is pre increment. Now in this case, what is happening, right? You have the number here, all right, and this is calling plus plus I. That means it is incrementing first and then it is calling out this variable. And or in simple words, it is incrementing first and then it is printing the statement. As simple as that. Yeah, this is called as pre-increment, right? I hope the concept of pre-increment and post-increment is clear now. It's a very simple and a very basic topic. So I think no one should have any doubt in that, right? Is it clear? Yes or no? Okay. Yes. Is it clear, guys? Yes or no? Okay, Rakesh says, what about this? Okay, ठीक है. Great everyone. ठीक है. चलो. After that, I want to cover a very important topic, a very important and a very easy topic. ठीक है. मैं आप लोगों को सब easy बोल के पढ़ा दूंगा. ठीक है. I mean it's very like JavaScript is very simple. It's just pure logic, pure logical thing. Whatever happens here in JavaScript happens for a reason, right? You cannot say that it is not happening. It is happening without any reason. Everything happens for a reason. That's why we have functions. The most beautiful, the heart of JavaScript, these are functions, right? So, what are functions? Anyone? What do you mean by functions? Functions. Can anyone let me know the reusable block of code? Mono says reusable block of code. RN says like if we have to use a part of code more than once, we won't write it all time, so we use a function. Very accurate definition, right? Very good. Rakesh says when is then executed by calling it. Yes. So there's a two-part to function. There's two-part to a function: calling, invoking, and declaration, right? So yes, function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. Collection of tasks to be done are wrapped inside a function, right? Great. ठीक है. चलो, as said by most of you, right? Functions are a reusable block of code. Now, what do I mean by reusable, right? So if I were to see here, functions are reusable block of code. ठीक है. The funda here is very simple. Let's suppose if we want to perform any operation, okay, perform, or let's suppose perform an operation of adding two numbers, right? Of adding two numbers, okay. And let's suppose this operation that I have, or the, so I'll definitely write a program. I'll definitely write a program to just give me the sum of two numbers. Okay, I hope everyone knows how to add two numbers. Okay, so what if I have to repeat the same task? I have to repeat the task of adding numbers more than once. Let's suppose twice. Let's suppose 50 times. Let's suppose 100 times. Then what will you do? Will you write the same function? Will you write each and every function of adding two numbers 100 times? Will you? No. You can, right? That will work. That will work absolutely fine. But you should not recommend it at all. Suppose again, let's assume that you're working for Amazon, or you're working for Google, and you have, let's suppose, 1 million lines of code. And let's suppose you, instead of functions, you are using normal what do you say, variables or normal statements. In that case, the code might increase from 1 million to 1.5 million. 500,000 lines of code can be extra. But if you're using functions there, then obviously you will not have to write each and everything again. You just have to call the function, pass in the values, and then you are good to go. Okay, so it reduces number of lines of code. Yes. It is reusable. Yes. How do you declare a function? On what is a function? Okay. Basically, in JavaScript, there are two types of function. One is a number function, and one is an arrow function. We'll not be covering arrow functions for now because Guys might get confused. So we'll be covering normal functions that are there, that are used in JavaScript most of the times. Okay. Now, so let's suppose you have to add two numbers. Okay. The first thing is there, and that too with functions. The first thing there is you have to declare. So there are two parts to a function. One is the declaration part, one is the invocation part. How do you declare a function? For that, you have a keyword called as a function. You have to mention a keyword called as function. After that, you have to type in the name of the function. Just as you type any name to a variable, you can give any name to a variable. Similarly, you can give any name to function as well. Okay. Now, let's suppose I'm giving a name of add. Then you have to put in these two round brackets. Again, these two round brackets have a name. So I'm calling these two round brackets because you do not know the name yet. Okay, I'll tell you what are these things called. It is a very important concept. Now, here I have to just call my operation. Let's suppose I want to add two numbers. So I'll just call var a equals to 10, var p equals to let's suppose 20, and let's suppose var c equals to a plus b. Right. And now I am just printing my c variable. Okay. If I run, who will tell me if I run my code, if I run my program, will this run? Will this give me the correct output? If not, then what is wrong in that? Can anyone let me know if you have covered functions, why is it wrong and why will it give wrong output? Anyone will let me know? So if I run here, I will not get any output. Yes, RN Kaushik is right. It will give me incorrect output because I told you, right, function has two parts, right? One, what is the first one? The first one here is function declaration. We have declared a function, but we have not called it. We have not invoked it. You have to also invoke a function. If you're not invoking a function, then it will be good for nothing. It is just then a simple dead block of code. It is just a dead code that won't be executed. So in order to call a function, in order to invoke a function, how do we invoke a function? You just type in the name, then you just type in two round brackets. As simple as that. Now if I run my function, now if I run my code, I will get 30 as the answer. Okay. So what is happening? Let me just take a screenshot of it again, and let me come here. Okay. See this here, this part, right? This part is called as a function declaration. This part here is called as a function. So let me type it only instead of. Okay. This is called as a function declaration. DECLARATION. Okay. This is called as function declaration. Now, in order to call a function, you have to invoke it. So this is called as function invocation. This is called as function invocation. Okay. Now, whatever value comes here, right? This is initially empty, right? It has a name to it. This is called as a parameter. This is called as a so this is a very important interview question. It is asked many times. It has been personally asked to me that what is the difference between an argument and a parameter, right? This here is called as a parameter, and these two things, right? These two round brackets, these are called as arguments. So whenever you are invoking a function, at the time of invoking a function, the round brackets that you put, right, that is an argument. Okay, that is an argument. And at the time of declaration, right, at the time of declaration, whatever values you have here, that is called as a parameter, right? That is called as a parameter. Certain vocation spelling is wrong. Do you have a C? Yeah, you have a C, right? Vocation. I think C and K are interchangeably used. If you use the British English, you have a K there. If you're using American English, that is what we use. We have a CKS, right? Okay. So this is that is the exact difference between an argument and a parameter. What is the difference? If you are calling it while declaring, it's called a parameter, and here it is called as a argument. As simple as it. So if anyone now asks you what is the difference between an argument and a parameter, you know what to answer, right? I hope everyone should be able to answer that. If it is asked by your friends, by an interviewer, anyone, you should be able to answer that thing. All right, clear? How do we declare a function? Is it clear? How do we invoke a function? Is it clear? Now, see the magic. Let's suppose I want to perform the same task 10 times. What is the naive way I would do? I would just call the same. I will just copy it, the same thing, right? This same thing, and just paste it. Yeah, it will give me 30 as an answer again. But again, see, I am increasing the number of lines of code. Again, it is taking 4 lines. Let's suppose I want to do 100 times. So, right, 100 into 4, 400 lines of extra code I would have to write. Instead of that, we just have to call an add function again. Now this time it will run 2 times and it will give the exact same output. Let's suppose if I want to add it 1000 times, I can have added 1000 or any number of times that I want. If I add it 3 times, if I add it 4 times, this will give me the answer as 4 times. So see, I got 30 as an answer 4 times. I did not write the whole code again. I did not see here. I have only written the code once, but I'm calling it 4 times. That is the only reason why it is coming 4 times. Right? Got it, everyone? Yes, declaring parameter, calling argument. Exactly. Right, Mayur. ठीक है? Abnesh, give me your email. अरे भाई क्या चल रहा है? email ID मांग रहे किसी की? ठीक है? Clear है? Is it fine? अच्छा. Yes, so I'll tell you about the assignments now. How do you mark your, how will you get the assignment, and how will you mark the attendance? So for that, you just have to come onto this website. It is there in the description box as well, or just type in the name LetsUpgrade. Okay, you'll come here. If you have not enrolled now, I think majority of you must have enrolled. Okay, if you're not, you have to click on enroll now. I have already enrolled. So I'll just go to my programs, right? So I'll have a JavaScript Essential Bootcamp, right? So you have to click here. You have to click on this part. Now you land onto this UI. You will land onto this UI. Okay. So here you have an option to mark the attendance. You have 2 options here. One is mark attendance. One is submit the assignment. Okay. Here you have to mark attendance. You have to fill in the basic details. These are 2 programs that we have, Java and DSA, right? I'll come to that. So any feedbacks, I'll just type nothing for here, and I'll just submit the attendance. Okay. Now see, this progress bar, initially it is 23.08. Now if I refresh it, it comes to 46.15%. Okay. So and also one thing, you'll be only eligible for certificate once this bar crosses 50%, right? So please make sure to mark the attendance in order to be eligible for certificates. Now you also seen a option to submit the assignment, right? So just click on here, just read the question. You have to submit a GitHub link. If you don't know what is GitHub, or you are not aware of what is GitHub, upload the same code on a Google Doc file and upload that link here. It's up to you whether you want to upload GitHub link, or whether you want to upload the the Google Doc link. It's up to you. Sir, did you see that in the page there is spelling? Where is there spelling mistake? Tell me. Looping like a pro, JavaScript programming essentials bootcamp. Where is the spelling mistake? Tell me. I'll tell the team. They'll rectify it. Right. So this is about the programs. Now, if you come onto this main page, you have 2 programs here, right? Initially, one is Java DSA, one is C++. You have 3 or 4 programs, and one is full stack development, and one is data science. Okay. So these programs that are there, right? they are not the same as bootcamp, because bootcamp only gives you an overview of the topics. This is in-depth knowledge of each and every text, each and every program. So let's suppose you are wanting to enroll in the Java and DSA program. So this right here has all the features, right? You have 120 plus hours of live learning, 3 mock interviews, 100 plus problems, and the best part is that you get the placement assurity. Within 180 days of this program, you can be eligible for, you will be placed with by the LetsUpgrade team, right? So it's up to you. If you are serious enough, if you want to pursue it with full devotion and dedication, you can opt for this program. This is not free, obviously. It is the features around 5,900, but we'll have a Kahoot just now. So if you come first in the Kahoot, you'll get it absolutely for free. If you're coming second, you get rupees 3,000 off. If you come third, you get rupees 100 off. You get rupees 1,000 off. So free 3,000 and rupees 1,000 as per your decreasing level that you get. Okay. So this is all about, you can explore it more. If you have any questions, you can reach out team. They'll surely be able to revert back to you, right? So this is all you can do. And one more thing, if you are interested in the, what do you say, the BTech program that we have, sir, only Java and DSA? No, you also have C++, you also have C++, and you also have full stack web development. Rakesh, you have to post your assignment in the option that is provided. That the link that you see there, right? You have to add that link, and that's how you have to submit. Just copy the code there, right? Not copy, just write the code in a Google Doc file or on GitHub, and just attach the link, GitHub link. Or if you do not have GitHub, you can just use a Google Doc. Simply add the code and just attach the link here. As simple as that. Okay. So similarly, they also, right? So that's how we attach it. So similarly, also we also have a BTech program. So if you're looking for pursuing, if you are still in your 12th grade, or if you have someone who might be interested in pursuing BTech, so this is what do you say? We have a BTech program, right? So how is it this? How is this different from other BTech, right? In this case, or if I win, I can choose the course. I think it's only if you win, you can only get the Java and DSA. I'm not sure, but yeah. So in this case, this is a BTech. How is this BTech normal from the other BTechs? Is that you get a minimum, you get placement, you get in the internship opportunity in, what do you say, in the final year. Okay. Plus you get a guarantee of placement that is above or equal to 8 LPA. Right? You can be rest assured about the placements. There is a 100% placement guarantee, and that too of package of 8 LPA and above. And if you do not want to pursue, you have you have your cousins, you have your friends who are looking for pursuing BTech, right? You can share them this referral code that is there. Okay. If they join via your referral link, you'll also get some rewards. You can get rupees 80,000 or a MacBook M Air 1. That's up to you, right? Yeah, so quiz will be having just now. Please be patient, right? So it will be happening very soon. So I'll just explain about the program. So if you know someone who has wants to do BTech, or if you know someone, or if you want to personally do it, then you have all these things. You can explore it now. Okay, it's up to you. Yes, so the reward is only for the Java DSA course, right? Chalo, okay. With that being said, let's start with the quiz session, right? So I'll just maybe call the person who will be conducting. I'll just call Anam, who will be conducting the quiz, right? And if you have any doubts in the meantime, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you out, right? Anyone? Any doubts till now? Yes. So how to submit? Yeah, I already told you how to submit the assignment. What's next? Yes. ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है. So yes. Anything else you want to ask about? In the meanwhile, Anam is running for the quiz. Anything you want to ask? Anything? Any doubts you have regarding anything? You can ask me. Meanwhile, Anam is joining. ठीक है, आई थिंक एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर। चलो ठीक है, ऑलराइट। Sir, can I use a for loop for the assignment? Yes, you can, right? You can. So if I come go to the assignment again, if I come my programs, if I come here and if I go to the assignment part, let me see what is this. You have to create a function called as calculator that takes in parameters to turn the no, you cannot. In this, you have to only use a function because it clearly says that you have to use a function, right? And I told you how do we declare a function and how do we call it. So yes, yeah, you can use it. Okay. So sir, I need assignment submitted. Okay, RN has already submitted the assignment. That's really fast and really great, right? Okay. Fruitful session, sir. Thanks. Array, no issues, no issues. No, sir, it's clearly said function. Yes, it clearly says how to create a GitHub link. So, for creating a GitHub link, go on to github.com. Okay, just sign in. I've already signed in, so this is my account. So, if you're not signed in, you have to just sign up first. And after signing up, you have to then sign in. And after signing in, you will end up on this page. Okay, so this is a GitHub. For those of you who don't know what is GitHub, it's an open source. It's a version control system. It's an open source coding cross coding platform where you can collaborate, where developers collaborate and work together. Let's suppose you're working in an environment in an organization, and let's suppose uh, 10 people are working on the same project. So in that case, you can collaborate, you can work on the same file but on different machines. So that is GitHub for you. That will GitHub do. Okay, it will merge the codes and it will help you to identify if there is any merge conflict, if there is any mistakes and things like that. So please make sure to and attach. So how to create a repository? You have to click on this new option. If you click on new, this will land up here. Give a name to your repository, anything. Let's suppose example repository, example underscore repo. Okay, and after this you'll be good to go. Okay, you can make it public, and if you create repository, it'll be done. Okay, so this is what you have it here, right? Clear, everyone? How to attach a code? So you already have a link. You already have a. If you go here, right, you come to my programs, you come here, and this is the link that you have. Here is the link that you have to attach. Okay, it can be a GitHub link, it can be your Google Doc link. Yeah, it can be anything. Chalo, okay. So now we'll be starting with the quiz. I think Anam is joining. Anything else? Any doubts you have till now? Yes. Yes, Arun. Yes, Arun. You are also. Thanks, Rakesh. Yeah. So, uh, any feedbacks are taken care of. So, if you think that I'm missing on anything, right? If I'm not explaining properly, you can also give any wrong feedback. Okay, it's not always right feedback. Okay, there are some. Each and every person have some right uh, pros and cons to it. So, if you think that you are feeling anything that is missing, you can also write it in the chat box. Don't feel anything, right? I anything if it is bad or if it is even good, I do not take it by heart. It's just a feedback for me. I only receive good feedbacks. I don't know why, but I think there must be any also things that you should not be liking about me, right? Maybe the concept, the clarity. If there is anything, you can let me know. You can let the team know about the feedback. So they'll be more than happy to give me the feedbacks as well. Sir, please teach advanced JS. So yeah, I'll be more than happy to teach advanced JS. It's just a thing that most of the crowd, most of the audience that we have here is coming from what do you say, uh, from the first year or the second year, right? So they're not be able to catch up if I teach advanced topics. So that is the only reason. That is the only reason that you have here, right? So yes. ठीक है, I think Anam is sharing the screen. So yeah. So Anam will not be able to unmute her, so I'll be giving you the instructions. Okay. So first of all, do one thing. Anam, please share the Kahoot link, and then maybe they can join. Okay. So for advanced JS bootcamp, will be there, or we have to take the course provided? So it's right. You can get to the team if they feel that you are really interested in advanced JS, they might even book a bootcamp for you, right? You have to please give the feedback to the team, and they might do, because I'm not even responsible for that, right? So we have a separate team for that, and we'll do. Okay. No, let's have it. Okay. Okay. So as you can see the screen, right? You have the screen here. So Anam will share you a QR code, and also a link. You have to join through that. Okay. So here is the game pin that you have, right? Go on to the Kahoot website and enter the game pin, that is 4139481, right? And please join the session here. All right. So you can also scan the QR code that is provided. You can do that also, right? So scan the QR code or else enter the game pin. It's you land up to the game via both ways, right? So please do that. Okay. You can already see 13-14 people have joined. Rest also please join. Okay. Others also please join. Please make it fast. We're waiting for you. Yeah, we also have the game pin in the description in the chat box, right? You can also enter the game. So far only 32 have joined out of 48. What about others? Baki join nahi karna kya? It's up to you. You can give it a try, right? Maybe you come in the top 3 and we get rewards. So why not give it a try? What about others? Please join quickly. We'll be starting. We'll be starting at dot 7:33. So you have literally 1 minute to do it. If you're having any issues to join, you can let us know. Otherwise, please join first. Right? Chalo, shall we start now? 40 have joined, and I can see the live to be 50, 53. It is 53 exactly right now. So still not 13 people have not joined. Okay, they're joining, I guess. Yes, Monu will be starting. Just give us a second. Let us all join, right? Everyone should get a fair chance to get the rewards, not only you. Yeah, it should be a fair game, right? Whatever you should, wherever you're participating, right? You should have a fair play each and every time. I just believe in fair play, right? Let us. If you are the worthy enough, you'll definitely get it. Otherwise, hard luck next time. On day tomorrow will tomorrow, and also if you are not coming in top 3, don't feel bad. Tomorrow also will be having quiz, right? So you can try luck tomorrow as well, right? So all the best. चलो ठीक है. Let's start now. I think it's 7:33. We're already over time. Let's start it as soon as possible, right? चलो ठीक है. Let's start now. चलो ठीक है. So the question will flash up here in the screen, right? And you have exactly 20 seconds to answer that. So please make it quick, right? So please make sure that you're reading the question properly, and please making sure that you're writing the correct answer. So what is JavaScript, right? It's very basic. What is JavaScript? You have 4 options and you have 10 seconds to go. Right? Please make it quick. Chalo, yeah, it's a programming. Like I told you in the first itself, right? It's a programming language. It's not a scripting language. It is considered as a programming language. Which keyword is used to declare variables in JavaScript? Var, let, int, const. Which variable keyword is used to declare variables in JavaScript? So it is okay. Which looping statement is used to iterate a specific number of times in JavaScript? You have if statement, you have switch statement, you have for loop, you have while loop. Please make it quick. 5 seconds. That answer was for. Okay. Chalo, the fourth question. What is the purpose of while loop in JavaScript? Right, we discussed it today as well. So I'm making sure that most of you will answer this part. It is to execute a block repeatedly under a condition is specified, right? I told you until a condition is specified. Chalo. How do you define a function? How do you define a function? Yes, chalo. Tell me. Using a function keyword, right? Yeah. So I think what is the correct syntax to call a function you have a function called as my function, right? And you have to call it. What is the correct syntax for calling it? I told you that is the invocation part. How to invoke it, how to invoke a function. This I think most of you will get it correct. Yes, that is the B option. Ayush Raj is reading, right? Great. RN is third and just Prant is second. Chalo, what are parameters? I think everyone should be able to answer this correctly. If you are not, then means you're you're not watching the lecture properly. Okay, RN is leading now. Great. What are arguments? It is option 4, right? So the leaderboard is still RN, Monu, and third one is just with us. Which keyword is used to declare a function? This is very simple, very basic. Hello, 4 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. It is using a keyword called as a function. Chalo, last question. Please make sure that you're doing your best. What is the purpose of return statement in JavaScript? Again, a tricky one, but a very important question. What is the use of a return statement? It returns the value from a function. Okay. So that was all about the quiz. On third position, we have Rakesh. I don't know if he's there or not. Subhash, second position. And first is I don't see the name. I think it's RN Kaushik. So congratulations everyone. Please make sure that you are providing your email ID. The top 3 winners, please provide your email ID, right? Do not type @gmail.com. Just type the initial part, right? Before @gmail.com, just a username in the chat box, right? Aryan, Subhash, and Rakesh, please do that so that the team can get back to you with the coupon codes on your email IDs, right? So yeah. And congratulations. And those of you who are not able to join, don't worry, no hard feelings. We'll be having a quiz tomorrow as well. So please make sure that you have a proper internet connection, plus you are prepared, right? So these 2 things have to be there. If you're not, then you might not get a chance to win this. Okay. So I think we got all the 4 names. That was all for today's bootcamp. Wish you all the very best for tomorrow's cloud session. Please make sure to revise today's lecture, and plus whatever concepts we cover on day 1, please make sure to revise. The syllabus of day 3 cloud will be the topics covered on day 3 only, right? So please make sure that you're watching the lecture, and please make sure that you are also paying enough attention so that you can answer the questions properly, right? So that is all for today. I hope you really liked the session. We covered functions, we covered looping statements, right? We covered arguments, we covered parameters, all those important topics. So please make sure that you're revising. With that being said, I'll take your leave. Let's wrap up the session, right? Chalo. That being said, bye everyone.
Hey, hi everyone. So my name is Sai Kiran and I'm the founder and CEO of LetsUpgrade, and I'm having some amazing news for every one of you. LetsUpgrade, in collaboration with IT and Skills University, is launching the first BTech CSE program that we love to share with you all guys. 6 features. Number 1, 100% job guarantee to all the students joining this particular program with minimum 8 LPA. Number 2, 1 year paid internship in product/MNC companies. Number 3, taught by real developers working in the industry in top companies. Number 4, amazing campus, a campus which is like we work in Mumbai that we are building for you all guys. Number 5, build lots of projects which are like real world applications, highly scalable applications from Hotstar to Zoom to your own Zomato. Number 6, you are gonna love the community collaborations that we guys have done. We are collaborating with 13 plus tech communities to give you the same environment what IITs and NITs have. Meet lots of industry people, participate in hackathons and meetups to understand what is running in the industry. That's what these are the 6 features which we have. You can check out the program on our website, that is isu.ac.in. Check out B.Tech there, you will find it. That's it guys, bye bye.